Hi everyone, welcome to Boarded Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, neither's this bloke. This is the Flying Elite, and he's picked himself up the new, slightly controversial Tier 8 American Heavy Premium Tank, the Chrysler GF, the girlfriend tank, the Chrysler Grand Final tank released for the Grand Final, the Gold League Grand Finals coming up in Moscow this week. Be sure to support your favourite team. Okay, a little bit about the Chrysler Grand Final tank. It's an American rear-turreted heavy tank. You can see Flying Elite platooned up with his old mate Dr. Yoda Biscuits from Pyro Clan. It's turrets at the rear, and this all around here, that's very strong armour from what I've told, from what I've read, and from what I've seen on other videos and forum posts and things like that. It's got a 105mm gun, 320 average damage, penetration only 198 with its standard rounds, which is what some people have been critical about. 260 with APCR rounds, which is the premium ammunition in this tank, as Flying Elite shoots and bounces the T-54E1. The AMX 1390 picks up the kill, and on Swamp he's going up to where a lot of people don't go, and if people don't go here in this map, then the enemy tanks don't get lit. It's as simple as that, as he doesn't have any trouble penetrating the M41 Walker Bulldog, the new Tier 8, or the recently promoted to Tier 8 light tank, with the patch 9.18. 2 ones the score. He's picked up 591 damage. Hasn't used any premium rounds yet, I don't think. And of course he cops a little bit of a stun from the artillery. Just pulls back, waits for his crew to recover. Now, even though it's a rear-mounted turret, I believe the turret turns all the way around 360 degrees, and the frontal areas of the tank are pretty strong. Other Tier 8 tanks aren't going to really penetrate it unless they're lucky, or unless they find a weak spot somewhere. Doesn't quite aim at the Repeatable Ballsig Waffenträger, so he doesn't land his shot. Bounces the shot from the M41 Bulldog. My experience of this tank, I've been grinding towards my mouse, and I've been using the Tier 9 Munchkin a lot, and I haven't really had any troubles penetrating it. Unluckily, he doesn't penetrate that R8 Ballsig Waffenträger Tier 8 German tank destroyer, but he continues to chip away. He's looking for some shots on the enemy Chrysler. He's got APCR loaded now, looking for the top of the turret. No, changed his mind. Bounces the shot from the M41 Walker Bulldog, put 303 damage into the light tank. 4-2's the score. That M41 will be feeling pretty nervous right now. He's still got APCR loaded, probably didn't need it for that shot, but picks up the kill nonetheless. That's his first kill. He's on 965 damage, he's blocked 940 damage, and ricochets the turret of the, is it the Chieftain or the Defender? I'm not really sure. 6-2's the score on Swamp, and he's looking for some more shots. A lot of enemy tanks down here. Dr. Yoda Biscuits gets taken out by the Chieftain T95 Clan Wars campaign tank. No problems penetrating the side of the enemy Chrysler. But again, he's got APCR loaded, and of course that's what people have been critical about this tank. It's a premium tank, and if you need to fire APCR all the time in a premium tank, then it's severely going to impact the credits you make, and that's what people buy premium tanks for. At least that's what people used to buy premium tanks for, to grind credits. That's what I use them for. And look, you could probably compare it to the IS-6. The IS-6 doesn't have fantastic penetration either, but the IS-6 only sees Tier 9s. You never see a Tier 10 game in an IS-6 unless you're platooned up with the wrong person, or the wrong kind of tank. 8-3 the score now. The Flying Elite's on nearly 2,000 damage as he looks for the kill shot on the enemy Chrysler. No problems penetrating. Looks like it was a lower front plate on the enemy Chrysler. That's his second kill. 2,166 hit points of damage. 2,500 damage now. 1,500 damage blocked. Again, no problems penetrating the side of the Jagdpanzer E100, but he does have APCR loaded, so. But then again, I think in any Tier 8 heavy tank, when you're coming up against a heavily armoured tank destroyer at Tier 10, you'd probably tend to load premium rounds anyway. One more shot on the Jagdpanzer E100 will be all he needs. landed that one very nicely. Auto aims at the T54 lightweight, the T9 Russian light tank. He's turning picks up the kill in the end. That's his 5th kill. 15-4 is the score, and he's heading straight for that T10. Trying to pick up the top gun. Again, APCR still loaded. And we'll see how that impacts his credits in the post-game battle results. The Chrysler K. The new Tier 8 American Premium Heavy Tanks. I'll get the second battle started. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Bruiser, Shell Proof, Fighter, Fire for Effect. So he's aced it. He's had a pretty good game. Topped the score charts. Didn't top it in damage. Of course, TVP T5051 did nearly 5,000 damage. Flop, but that's a Tier 10 medium. Flying Elite from Pyro with his Chrysler K Grand Final tank. 2,984 hit points of damage. 1,355 base experience. Of course, you get the base experience when you're bottom tier or lower tier if you're not top tier. He fired 16 shots, 15 hits, so nothing wrong with the accuracy. 12 went through. And he blocked 1,750 damage, nearly 3,000 damage done. And he made 27 and a bit thousand credits. Now that would have severely changed if these premium rounds costing 57,000 were standard rounds. But in a 5-minute game, just under 30,000 K, you can't really complain about that, I guess. But imagine if those rounds that he fired were standard, he probably would have made a hell of a lot more. As we move on to the second game in this double shot of Tier 8 heavy tank action featuring the Flying Elite and Dr. Yoda Biscuits from Pyro Clan in their Chrysler. Grand Final. New Tier 8 heavy premium tanks. This time we're on Redshire, and he's heading, looks like he's heading for the usual place where the heavy tanks do their bizzo. Again, it's a Tier 10 battle, so I'm tipping he's going to need to fire some more APCR. Not the slowest Tier 8 heavy tank in the world by any means. He's doing, looks like he's doing about 35 Ks an hour, and they're both going to, looks like they're both going to work this eastern flank as heavy tanks tend to do in this battle. No Tier 10 heavy tanks on the enemy side, but there are 2 Tier 9s, the Conqueror and the STI, the British and the German heavy tanks. Oh, you wouldn't think the Conqueror would be too hard to penetrate. The STI could present to be a challenge, as the T49 dies in the middle trying to scout out those middle hills. Looking at the minimap, you can see a lot of tanks heading for this southwestern corner. I hope they push it. I hope that they just kick back there and snipe like bitches. But Flying Elite not stuffing around, getting stuck into the eastern flank where the heavy tanks do their stuff. Looking for something to present itself. The Conqueror's been spotted a little bit to the west of the Flying Elite. Obviously no shot. His sixth sense hasn't gone off, so they don't know that he's there. One thing I do like about this tank is right there, that wargaming badge at the front. I reckon that looks pretty groovy, and I reckon it's been done quite well. STI's decided, here we go. He's going to have a red hot go. The big Tier 9 heavily armoured Russian heavy tank. 0-1's the score. The STI's just fired. Flying Elite's already got APCR rounds loaded. Looks for the lower plate. Lands it for 302 hit points. The VK45-02B got picked off by the grill. Not sure where that grill is. Hasn't yet been spotted. Damages and tracks the STI. Picks up some nice assisted damage from the T11OE3. And he'll be focusing down. He's going to go for a cheeky shot on the T34. 2-zip the score. Dr. Yoda Biscuits and the Flying Elite from Pyro Clan. Flying Elite still on full health. I think Dr. Yoda Biscuits has copped a couple of shots. Bounces the shot into the turret. Dr. Yoda Biscuits picks up the kill on the STI. That's the first kill of the game. And Flying Elite looking for a shot on the Conqueror. He's not going to penetrate that. Press 2 to win, he might say, but it's pretty well rounded, the Conqueror, as he bounces another shot into the Tier 9 British heavy tanks. Well rounded turret. Moving forward now, he's decided he wants to get his hull, and he does. Picks up his first kill of the game. Dr. Yoda Biscuits on a kill as well, getting rid of that STI. So 2 Tier 9 tanks taken out of the game by these two blokes, and they're certainly doing the right thing. APCR bounced off the turret of the T26E5. the other new American Tier 8 heavy tank, also known as the Patriot. Looks like he's tracked there. That looks like a beautiful shot. That takes him down to 63 hit points. He's on 1,702 hit points. The Flying Elite, 1,000 assisted, 720 damage blocked. Doesn't block that shot from the Pershing. The Pershing in a pretty good hold down position, but looking at the mini map, Dr. Yoda Biscuits and the Flying Elite, they have cleared out this section well and led the charge. And now they want to focus down that Pershing. Get rid of him, because that Pershing seems to know where to shoot the Chrysler Grand Final tank. One more shot should do it. There you go. That's his third kill. And with the score on 7-5, that group I was talking about earlier in the southwestern corner still camping like absolute donkeys. T110E4, top tier tank destroyer. Right down here. I hope he's farming damage. I suspect that he's not. The AMX 50-120 looks like he's trying to inspire these tanks to go forward. The IS-3 looks like he's not budging. He's probably sitting behind a rock. And the AMX 50-120 does the right thing. Gets rid of the 1390 and brings the score up to 8-6. Flying Elite on 3 kills, 2,167 damage, 1,200 blocked, 1,156 assisted, as he's trying to get some vision, trying to assist that Pershing, who is in the middle of the map, but he needs to be looking after his mate here. Dr. Yoda Biscuits just got taken down by the Scorpion G. Flying Elite still on 666 hit points, just picked up a little bit more spotting damage on that Tier 8 German tank destroyer. Score an 8-7. The IS-3's finally moved on the southwestern flank, but the T110E4 happy just to camp this one out. Flying Elite continues to move forward, looking for some vision on that Scorpion G and the VK4502A. Both Tier 8s could probably afford to take one shot from one of them, but not a shot from both. But he wants to light these tanks up for his artillery, for his Pershing, who's in the middle, and finally the T110E4 starts moving forward in the central part of the map. There's that Scorpion G. That shot's not going to hit. Still using APCR. Bounces nicely, it's got from the Scorpion G for 490 more damage blocked. Now this tank, something this tank might be good for is some of the missions that require you to block a certain amount of hit points. Scorp G nearly down to a one shot. If he rolls high, he'll pick him up. Doesn't roll high, leaves him on 71 health, and the Pershing does the job. Artillery only cost him 2 hit points from the T92 HMC, the Tier 10 American artillery. That's a very refreshing change to the artillery mechanics in patch 9.18. Only cost him 2 health and a stunned crew. Of course, he used his medkit to fix the stunned crew, and those medkits can now be used more than once. Bounces a shot from the Leopard PTA. Leopard PTA probably sniping from back here somewhere up at A3 or A4. Doesn't manage to land a shot on the SDRV, or he might have bounced him. 2,500 damage done, 2,500 damage blocked, 1,556 assisted damage. Flying Elite doing a great job trying to light this side of the map, but I think every time he peaks, something lights him. Artillery gets rid of the STRV. He's on 664 hit points now. Now he's going to use this dead Scorpion G as a bit of cover. No, he's not. Just hasn't got the grunt to keep moving it forward. He wants to have a peek around here. See if this VK4502A is still here. That should be a relatively easy tank to penetrate. Stays with the APCR. I guess he's thinking that this game is in the balance here. 10-7 to score. Only copped 52 damage, so that VK probably firing high explosive. The VK probably not confident in penetrating the new American Tier 8 heavy tank, the Chrysler Grand Final tank. His medkit's nearly ready to reuse. It's another change in the mechanics, which I like, having reusable medkits and first aid kits and all that kind of jazz. 319 hit points into the grill as he gets stunned again by the T92 HMC. Cost him a little bit of health again. He's still on over 600 health though, so that probably cost him about 50 odd hit points. Keeps the grill aimed. One more shot should do it. There you go. That's kill number 4 for the Flying Elite. And that's pretty much confirmed the win. 13-7 the score now. Just the T92 and the T25 Pilot 1 left on the enemy side. Changed to AP rounds now, probably I think for the first time in the game. Of course, the T25 Pilot and the HMC, not known for their armour. Pilot can bounce shots, and of course the T92 kills himself like an absolute plonker. Ex-member, that's his name. Ex-member, name a knucklehead. Ex-member, killed himself in artillery. Hope he gets penalised. And as usual, at the final stages of a game, it's just a race to see who can get the most damage on the last remaining tank. But unfortunately for the Flying Elite, it's not him. But he's certainly had a good game with over 3,500 damage done on the new tank, the new Chrysler Grand Final tank. He's picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, a Hand of God, Spotter for all that assisted damage, Jeweler's Fighter, 5 for effect, Shell Proof, and of course the Steel Wall for all that bounced damage that he did. He clearly did he top score on damage, comfortably top scored on damage with 3,504 hit points of damage, 4 kills, 14-13 base experience. He fired 21 shots, 18 hit, 14 went through, and he blocked nearly 3,000, spotted over 2,000. That was fantastic. But again, firing APCR rounds doesn't mean credits. If he had lost that game, he would have lost a heap of credits, and if he had a standard account, he would have lost nearly 37,000 credits. So that's probably the downside of this tank, is the APCR. If you use too much of it, you certainly don't make money. But nevertheless, a couple of good games from the Flying Elite and Dr. Yoda Biscuits from Pyro Clan. The Chrysler K, the Grand Final tank, the Tier 8 new American Premium Heavy Tank. Thanks for the replays, Flying Elite. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and see you all next time.